Hey everybody, and welcome back to Firefall History. This is our first major patch since 0.8. As such, there's not a whole lot of change in this patch. This is mainly a bug fix and stabilization patch. There were a couple though. First off, the area resource ranges has changed. Stage 1 and 2 areas will now spawn between 1 and 300 quality resources, and Stage 3 and 4 areas will both spawn 200 to 1000 quality resources. Now this was done because Antarctica went nuts after the last patch, and it was really pretty terrible in there from what I heard. I figured that was going to happen though, so I don't have any first-hand testimony because I didn't even bother going in there. There are currently reports of this not working properly in the pockets rather. Resources spawning either too high in Diamond Head or too low in Sargasso specifically. Cliff's Edge has been nerfed a little bit due to speed running. I don't know what the logic was behind this, honestly, because it is as difficult and takes just as much time as a regular Ares mission, and it was only rewarding about a tier 2 group level, which is what the pocket is balanced for. So I don't see what the huge problem was there, but LGVs have had their handling improved very nicely. It kind of feels weird going through New Eden with the big old roads and the tight turns these new LGVs can make, but it's very, very nice in Diamond Head. It was almost impossible to drive in Diamond Head before this, and this has made it a lot easier on rugged terrain like that. The UI has been cleaned up significantly. You might notice that the HUD actually looks better. Printer also got a little bit of attention. The rewards boxes have been tweaked around and prettified a little bit. Geometry and texture files, I probably should have brought this up with Diamond Head, were updated. These are Diamond Head changes. If you look behind the curtain, if you actually stick your nose behind it, the murkiness has been removed for now, and you could actually see what the terrain's going to look like, which is actually really exciting. I was worried that Diamond Head was going to be this big volcanic desert terrain, but it's actually looking pretty good back there. Not sure if I've talked about this, but Thumper Assistant requirements have been increased. This is literally because you could go buy an active Thumper on your LGV and get full assistance credit, which is a little stupid, really. I mean, it actually got to the point where the notifications while I was driving were annoying sometimes. In addition to all those, Nighthawk has been reworked. The sniper rifle has been buffed from 480 base damage to 660 base damage. Ambush has been reworked, and I actually like the sound of this. It actually works pretty nice. While it is active, that's the passive by the way, it will buff your damage and cause you to use no ammo. This is very, very nice on the sniper rifle. Ambush is deactivated if you miss your target, you only hit the body, or are put onto the enemy sin. As far as being put onto the enemy sin, I'm not sure what that constitutes in PvE because I was getting shot at and still had that buff active, but I'm really not complaining about that. So I think there's some sort of sound effect that plays when you're put onto sin in PvE. I'm not sure though. Execute Shot has been renamed. It is now Execution and yields a higher rate of fire while active. That is its only benefit, and it does not last very long, at least at stock, so do with that what you will. Eruption Rounds, the HKM, has been modified to use the damage of the primary as opposed to its own damage, and can now be used with the R36 for that reason, because the previous edition of Eruption Rounds would have been just totally broken with the R36, since it did have its own damage and the R36 is fully automatic. So a lot of people are happy about that, and it does have a huge explosion radius, as you can see. Remote Explosive will now leave a patch of fire for 5 seconds on the ground. It's actually fairly large, and it does 10% of the explosion's damage per tick. I think it does about 2 ticks per second. That's fairly standard. Electron also got half of its planned rework in this patch. The other half will be going in next patch. But Bulwark and Overclocking Station were changed. Bulwark now erupts from the player in sort of a repulsor blast style effect, and it shields the user of the ability and all allies within 6 meters, and also gives them a light buff. Overclocking Station now spawns a deployable that gives a small amount of energy, buffs energy regen, and buffs damage as well. I've had the opportunity to work around an overclocking station, and they are pretty nice. I think it was a stock. The buffs weren't too significant, but it was a very nice ability. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. Later today, the Let's Play of Firefall, my Let's Play, will be premiering, so very excited about that. Check for that, excuse me, around 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. That is 1 hour ahead of West Coast time. Hopefully I'll see you guys later this afternoon. I will see you guys next time.